Now, from CBS 4 News, this is Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede.
Good morning, I'm Jim DeFede, and welcome to Facing South Florida. In a few minutes, we will examine what the state did with education this year. Coming at it from both sides, the Republican chair of the Senate Education Committee, Manny Diaz Jr., and the head of the teachers union here in Miami-Dade County, Carla Hernandez-Matz, will be here in the studio to debate. But first, in a startling development, leaders in Broward and Palm Beach counties are bracing for the arrival of more than 1,000 undocumented migrants every month into this community. The Trump administration is planning on flying the immigrants from the U.S.-Mexico border and releasing them into the community. Here is Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw reacting.
What are they going to do when they get here? Their intentions were to process them in Broward and in Palm Beach County up in Riviera Beach at their facility near the port, give them a notice to appear to come to a hearing at some later date, and then release them into the community. No accommodations for transportation leaving there, no accommodations for shelter or a place to live, just no real plan on what's going to happen to these 500 people every month that's going to come to Palm Beach County and be released into our community.
Now, news of the plan was first announced by Broward Mayor Mark Bogan, and Mayor Bogan joins us now. Mr. Mayor, welcome. Thank you for your time.
Great to be here.
So, in all honesty, we're taping this Friday morning, so there could be developments between now and Sunday. But right now, as it stands, you've got to prepare for upwards of 1,000 people coming to Broward and Palm Beach County every month, starting in about 2 weeks. How are you preparing?
We're right now, as soon as we heard, we have our administration meeting with charities, we're meeting with different organizations, we had a meeting with Palm Beach County officials. We're scrambling. We're scrambling, trying to figure out how we're going to make this happen. But, you know, I would like to start and say...
No, give me your reaction to how this all began. You know, and when you realized that this was taking place, what was your thought?
No, I mean, I was notified just 2 days ago. Didn't know if it was for real. We called up the governor's office, Senator Scott's office, Senator Rubio's office. We spoke with the congressman. Nobody knew anything. Not one federal official had any idea what was going on. And just to your clip to the sheriff, I'm glad a Republican county sheriff is outraged as well. So it's not a Democrat-Republican issue. This is a humanitarian issue. It's a humanitarian crisis. And while Broward County is a welcoming, inclusive county, we have many nationalities of all kinds. We're happy to help people. I think that what was also said is we need the resources. You just don't bring people here where they have no shelter, no food, we don't know their health condition. We don't know if we're dealing with seniors, we don't know children. We have no idea what we're dealing with. Our homeless shelters are full, and you know, it's a crisis. It's going to be a humanitarian crisis.
Now, we should note that the Department of Homeland Security referred all questions to Customs and Border Protection, and Customs and Border Protection referred all questions to the Department of Homeland Security. So they're doing a little bit of this, and nobody's providing any information. Again, to your point, you're not saying that this may not be an idea that you could bring migrants into the community, but there's got to be a plan if you are going to do that, and that's even a question whether or not it should be done.
Exactly. There's got to be a plan. This is the most irresponsible plan or policy, whatever you want to call it. It's inhumane what the president's doing.
Well, why do you think it's inhumane?
Well, how do you justify bringing a group of people every week? We're not talking a small group, over 130 people every week to where they have nowhere to live. We have no idea where they're going to eat. We have no idea how they're going to be taken care of. I call that inhumane. I mean, how do you? It's not treating people in a humane manner. And that's what's important. We want to be able to treat and take care of people in the way they should be. Just like we have homeless shelters. People who are homeless. We just got rid of a homeless encampment that was been in Fort Lauderdale for nearly 2 years. We worked with all the nonprofits, the organizations, we worked with the business community, worked together to help these people and not just put them somewhere, but we're dealing with their mental health. We're dealing with trying to help them get jobs. So there's a whole big array of services that needs to be with these people. And if you just say, I'm just going to dump people somewhere without telling the local government who's coming and without any resources, it's inhumane.
The Palm Beach mayor, I know that he said during the press conference on Thursday that they're going to contemplate actually creating tent cities to house these folks if they actually do start arriving. Would Broward consider doing something like that?
Well, I mean, there's only so many options. We can ask people to open up their hearts and homes. We can ask, but if we can't have anywhere to put people, it's going to create, I believe it'll create a tent homeless encampment. We'll have what we had in Fort Lauderdale, but 10 times higher. It's just, it's kind of incomprehensible to think that they would do this.
Well, more importantly, the point that you made early on, the Republican governor, the two Republican senators in the state had no idea that this was even being discussed or contemplated. What does that tell you?
What it tells me is that the Trump administration is doing things without any plan, without consulting anybody. The normal protocol, I've been told, is going from federal government to state government to county government. Right now, it's haphazard.
Do you think this could just be a stunt by the Trump administration and Border Patrol to just sort of rile people up and get them talking about immigration and realizing that there is a crisis on the border and embarrass folks like you and other politicians here in Florida?
First of all, I hope it's a stunt. That would be the best thing, that it's a stunt, and I don't think it would embarrass us because we're going to work hard to help anybody that comes to our county. I think it's going to embarrass the president. I think it's going to show how he's going to use people as pawns and people in politics, and regardless of whether they're undocumented, legal or illegal, they're people, and you need to deal with people in a way that shouldn't be mistreating them. There's a legal process to do everything, and to just put them on an airplane and say, I'm going to dump them in your community without any forethought of how we're going to take care of them, feed them, it's incredible. It's unheard of.
And the irony, of course, is that this legislature, this Republican legislature, just passed an anti-sanctuary city bill, which was hotly debated, considered one of the most draconian laws in the country, passed at the urging of the Republican governor on behalf of the president, and this is how he rewards the state of Florida.
What many people think is Broward County is a sanctuary county. The fact is, in March 2017, our county commission voted, while we are a welcoming and inclusive county, we are not a sanctuary county. So we're not a sanctuary county. I don't know about Palm Beach County, but so the word sanctuary shouldn't be applied to us.
Do you think this was designed to embarrass more heavily Democratic counties like Broward, like Palm Beach? This is, this would also be in Debbie Wasserman Schultz's district, Ted Deutsch's district, two major critics of the president.
So, when you say the word embarrass, to me, the person that's causing this is the president. So I don't know. I don't feel embarrassed. I'm going to try to do what we can as an elected official. My county commissioners, our administration, we are now trying to do what we can to help people.
And you have a plan, don't you? What's your backup plan for where to put folks?
We're a backup plan. We're working on a plan right now. We're seriously working on what to do.
You had said about bringing them to.
Oh, my backup plan. What I did say is that if the president is going to create a homeless situation where we have nowhere to put them, my comment was, let's bring them all to his resort at Doral, and let's ask him to open his heart and home, just like he's asking us to open our heart and home, and let him open his heart and home at Doral and let him stay there.
Well, given the recent Washington Post story about the profits dropping at the Doral,
he might need some business.
They might need the business.
Right.
Mayor Mark Bogan, thank you very much for coming in. We'll stay very closely on top of this story. It's an important one for our community.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Up next, the Florida legislature made some major moves when it came to education. We will hear from the chair of the Senate Education Committee and the president of the Miami-Dade Teachers Union when we come back.